Meet our think tank. They answered hundreds of general knowledge questions before the show. Their answers are in, but how helpful will they be to the three contestants? Playing the game with us are Jess, a PhD student from Belfast, Chris, a company director from Leeds, and Anthony, an account director from London. This is Think Tank. Welcome to the show. Welcome, as ever, to our think tank. Hi, guys.
Hi.
This group of people includes chemistry teacher Armanel, a retired local government manager Jackie, musician Cleve, ice hockey player Tristan, office assistant Anisha, a retired holiday rep Ken, pizza waiter Peter, and Lucy, our dance teacher. They're all here to help our three contestants throughout the show. Jess, Chris, and Anthony, welcome to the programme. Jess, you're a PhD student. What are you studying?
Cancer research. I'm second year at the moment.
So you must be a very good student.
Most of the time, yes.
Yes. Well, we've had one or two students here in the think tank. Some of you been to university, haven't you?
Yes.
Peter?
Yeah, I did fuel and combustion science at Leeds University.
Lucy?
I was sports science at Loughborough.
Were you good students?
Yes.
Why were you not a good student, Peter?
I probably did too many societies.
What was it?
It was a gospel choir, sci-fi society, rowing society, and breakdancing society.
Have they come in useful since you graduated?
Breakdancing's been handy for entertaining people.
What, do you lie on your back spinning a pizza on your finger because you're a pizza waiter, spinning a pizza on your fingertip?
Sometimes, yes.
Chris, you're a company director. What does the company do?
We're shop fitters in Leeds.
Who do you work with?
It's a family business, so my wife and two of my sons and my sister-in-law all work within the business.
How long has it been in the family for?
We've been in business since 1948.
Wow.
So 68.
That's brilliant. This is a bit like a family business. Sometimes it feels like we've been together for 68 years. Chris, if there's an argument at home, though, does that ever get taken to work?
Oh, yeah. We live and breathe work,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah. We don't have any problems like that because we're just one big
happy family.
OK. Anthony, you're a young man, married, single?
Getting married in November this year with my fiancée, Diana.
Congratulations.
Look forward to that, yeah.
Jackie, you've been married for, what, 41 years now?
41 years, 42.
What is the key to a successful marriage?
I think Dave doing as he's told, really, but... Yeah. It's always worked well for us. Yeah. We've always been best friends first.
All right. Great to have all of you with us. Good luck with the game. All right. So over 3 rounds, our contestants will try to tap into the knowledge of the think tank to build up as much money as possible. The 2 highest scorers go through to the final. Ultimately, just one of them, though, will walk away with a cash prize. So let's play the first round. So in this round, I'm going to ask you a question. Then every member of the think tank will reveal the answer that they gave before the show. The correct answer is always there somewhere. Any number of mistakes there as well, though. So pick out the right one. £200 is added to your prize fund. 2 questions each. Jess, you're up first. Here's a question we asked the think tank. What does the J stand for in the name of the author J.K. Rowling? Have a think about that while we see what the think tank chose, starting with Armanel.
Joanne.
Jessica.
Jane.
Janice.
Joanna.
Jean.
Jenny.
Judith.
I think you've got 8 different names to choose from there, Jess.
That's going to be a bit difficult. Well, at least they all begin with a J. That's a good
start.
Immediately, I did think something in the range of Joanne or Joanna. I definitely don't think it's Jessica, because otherwise I would have known that. So I think I'm going to go with Joanne.
OK. What does the J stand for in the name of the author J.K. Rowling? Jess is going with Joanne. Let's see if she's right.
Yeah.
Joanne, it is. Well done. Well done, Armanel. She chose to use her initials rather than her first name because she didn't want to be identified as being a female author. She thought that might put readers off, so she went with J.K. Rowling. Well done. Jess, £200 to you. Chris, we come to you for your first question. As of January the 1st, 2016, which European country has the longest-serving monarch after the UK? Have a think about that, Chris, while we see what the think tank came up with. Remember, the correct answer is always there somewhere. Armanel.
Sweden.
Belgium.
Monaco.
Norway.
Spain.
Belgium.
Spain.
Denmark.
2 for Belgium, 2 for Spain, but it could be any of those. Any ideas?
But it's not Spain because the last man abdicated a couple of years ago. It's one of the Nordic countries, I think, or perhaps Belgium. It's not Monaco because he's young. So, Belgium.
You're going to go with Belgium. As of January the 1st, 2016, which European country has the longest serving monarch after the UK? Chris says it's Belgium. Let's see if he's right. It is, in fact, Denmark. Well, well done, Lucy. Queen Margrethe II has been monarch there since 1972. So nothing for you there, Chris. We move on to Anthony. You've seen how it works. Let's have a look at your question. Cardigan and Pembroke are the 2 varieties of which breed of dog? Let's see what the think tank came up with. Armanel?
Corgi.
Terrier.
Poodle.
Husky.
Terrier.
Corgi.
Sheepdog.
Poodle, sheepdog.
Well, got a whole kennel to choose from there. What do you reckon?
I don't know, it's probably my worst subject, this is about dog breeds. So I'm going to go with the majority, which is either Terrier or Corgi. And I liked the look of Wise Ken, so I'm going to go with Corgi.
Wise Ken, you're going to go with, OK. Cardigan and Pembroke, 2 varieties of which breed of dog? Anthony, you're saying Corgi. Let's see if you are barking up the right tree. You are indeed. Corgi it is. Lucy, have you ever seen a poodle sheepdog?
OK, I'm looking back at this thinking, what? I'm thinking I either read it as 2 breeds of dog or was torn between 2 answers and didn't cross one out.
Yes.
I don't know.
Nice answer. So, Anthony, £200 for you there. And we come back to Jess for your second question. Kevin, Bob and Stuart are the 3 main characters in which 2015 film? Have a think about that while we see what the think tank thought.
Minions.
Outnumbered.
Stag do.
3 Musketeers.
The Cray Twins.
Stargazer.
Minions.
Minions.
So 3 going for Minions, but you've got a fair number of other choices there, Jess.
This is a great question for me. I love Despicable Me, and I know for a fact that they're all minions. So I'd like to go with Minions, please.
Minions it is. OK. Kevin, Bob and Stuart are the 3 main characters in which 2015 film? Jess says it's Minions. Is she right? Minions it is. Made over $1 billion, that film. Tristan, I'm loving the idea of 3 Musketeers called Kevin, Bob and Stuart.
It was a modern film, so modern names, why not?
You might be giving the producer some ideas, though. All right. £200 to you, Jess. Chris, we come round to you again. Here's your second question. Which famous Gothic building in Paris is located on the Ile de la Cité? Been to Paris?
Yes.
So you might know this one. Let's see what the think tank came up with.
Notre Dame.
The Louvre.
Arc de Triomphe.
Pacific and Light.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
St. Peter's Cathedral.
The Louvre.
Notre Dame's a popular choice there, but doesn't necessarily mean it's right. What do you think, Chris?
I think Notre Dame is the answer. I think Ken would probably know that answer, and that's what he's gone for. And it is near a river, and so I would go with Notre Dame.
OK. Which famous Gothic building in Paris is located on the Ile de la Cité? Chris, you're saying Notre Dame. Let's see if you're right. Notre Dame it is. Well done. Completed in 1345. Its name means Our Lady, and it is indeed, of course, on the River Seine. Chris, £200 to you. And Anthony, your turn. Which Australian city is named after the wife of the British King, William IV? Have a think about that, and let's hear from the think tank.
Adelaide.
Melbourne.
Perth.
Sydney.
Victoria.
Adelaide.
Victoria.
Victoria.
Well, several female names there.
Yeah, when the question first came up, Sydney came straight into my head, but, I mean, nothing on Tristan's last few answers. Don't know if that's the right way to go. I'm going to go with Victoria. It may be the obvious one, but I'm hoping it's right.
Which Australian city is named after the wife of the British King William IV? Anthony's going with Victoria. Is he right? It's Adelaide, in fact. State capital of South Australia. Victoria, of course, married Albert.
True.
Well, well done, Ken. And Armanel. Anthony, nothing for you there. And that brings us to the end of the first round. Let's take a look at how you're all getting on. Chris and Anthony, you're tied on £200. In the lead with £400, it's Jess. Well, that could all change in our next round. Every member of the think tank is holding 2 questions which they answered correctly before the show. You're going to take it in turns to pick someone from the think tank whose knowledge you think you can match. For every correct answer, another £200 will be added to your prize fund. Once a think tanker has asked both of their questions, they can't be picked again. Jess, you get to go first. You've got the whole bunch to choose from. Who would you like to go with?
I just think, based on the last round, I'd like to go for Tristan.
Tristan, our ice hockey player.
So this is one of my favourite artists. This is music, so I'm hoping you get this. Bob Marley was born on which island?
Bob Marley was born on which island?
I'm pretty sure it's Jamaica. He's Jamaican. Yeah, so I'd like to go for Jamaica, please.
Jamaica. Tristan, is she right?
Jamaica is the correct answer.
That's right. Hugely famous reggae artist, of course, born in 1945 in Jamaica. OK. £200 to you, Jess. And Chris, you're up next. Everyone's still available.
Ken, please.
Ken, and why Ken?
I think he might be more on my wavelength.
On your wavelength. Our retired holiday rep, Ken.
So mine's a film question, which I think you'll know. Who played the title role in the 1976 Western, The Outlaw Josie Wales?
Have you seen it?
Yes. Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood. Very quickly to that.
Yes, perfect answer, Clint Eastwood.
Well done. And Clint Eastwood also directed a really good film, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
£200 to you, Chris. Anthony, we come to you.
I'm going to go with Cleve, please.
Our musician, Cleve.
It's actually a music question. I know the answer to this because I actually had a friend who works on this album and I've had to learn a couple of songs of it as well. The question is, our version of Events is an award-winning album by which singer?
Our version of Events is an award-winning album by which singer?
Not a clue, to be honest. Sounds kind of like quite an emotional, maybe like a Bob Dylan, I'm going to say.
Bob Dylan you want to go with?
Yeah, please.
Is that right?
Much, much later in time, it's actually Emily Sandé.
Emily Sandé is the answer. OK, so nothing for you there, Anthony, I'm afraid. We come back to you, Jess, and you can still choose anybody you like.
Can I go for Lucy this time, please?
Certainly can.
So I love skiing, and I knew the answer to this because this is a resort that I've actually been to. Closters is a ski resort in which country?
Closters is a ski resort in which country, Jess?
Never been skiing before in my life, so this is not great. I'm going to go with France, because I know there's a lot of ski slopes in France.
France is what she's saying.
It's close, it's Switzerland.
So it's just next door. It's a high-end ski resort, popular with members of the royal family, but it's not in France. So nothing for you there, Jess. Chris, coming to you again, and still all 8 to go with.
I feel lucky with Ken.
Oh, okay.
Feeling lucky with Ken, OK.
Sorry, Ken.
OK, that's fine. This one's about travel. The Tyrol is a state in which landlocked European country?
Yeah. It's not Switzerland. I think it's Austria.
Austria, is he right?
Well done, yes, Austrian Tyrol.
Done. And the capital of the Tyrol is Innsbruck. So well done. £200 to you, Chris. Anthony, coming round to you again. Anybody but Ken?
I have Jackie, please.
Oh, hiya.
Hey.
I knew this one because it's one of my favourite programmes. It's a question about Come Dine With Me.
OK.
I couldn't be on it because I can't stand fussy eaters, so I'll probably throw them out before the end of the programme. But I do like it. And the question is, who is the narrator of the TV show Come Dine With Me?
Who is the narrator of the TV show Come Dine With Me?
I can hear his voice, but I can pretty much see his face. But I have no idea about the name. I think it was like, did he do the Red Dwarf? I think like Craig Charles, possibly. I'll go with Craig Charles.
Craig Charles?
Yeah.
Was it Craig Charles?
It's not, unfortunate, but I think he makes the programme. It's Dave Lamb.
Dave Lamb was the answer. OK, so you don't like fussy eaters?
No.
Right, you could never be on Come Dine With Me?
No, I'd have chucked him out door before we got
All right. Think tankers, where do you think we should all go round for dinner tonight?
Yeah.
Coming around yours tonight.
Oh,
And you'll do as you're told.
Jackie, thanks very much. Nothing for you there. Anthony, we come back to Jess. You can't use Ken, but you can still ask anybody else.
I was lucky with Tristan's question the last time, so I'd like to go for Tristan again.
Tristan?
Thank you for choosing me again. Hopefully you're clued up on your Greek mythology. It was always one of my favourite classes in schools. In Greek mythology, Icarus fell to his death after flying too close to what?
I actually remember this myth. I'm not too great on mythology, so this is really good. So he had the wings made of wax and he went too close to the sun, and that's when they melted. So it's the sun.
The sun is your answer.
2 for 2. The sun is the correct answer. Good job.
Well done. And spot on with your explanation. Icarus made those wings out of wax to escape, and he went too close to the sun. OK, well done. £200 to you. Chris, Tristan you can't go with, or Ken, but you've still got 6 other members of the think tank.
Peter.
Peter.
Well, I got this question because I eat a lot of pizza, so I hope you've eaten some pizza.
So do I.
OK. Which type of fruit is an integral ingredient of a Hawaiian pizza?
Which type of fruit is an integral ingredient of a Hawaiian pizza?
Pineapple.
Pineapple.
I think. Pineapple.
Is that correct?
He's correct.
Pineapple's the right answer. It's normally a ham and pineapple pizza, isn't it?
Indeed, yeah.
So pineapple's absolutely right. £200 to you, Chris. And Anthony, we come back to you.
I'll go with Anisha, please.
Hi, Anthony.
Hiya.
Okay, so the reason why I got this question right is because this person is like an inspiration to me. The question is, which singer and formal model memorably performed whilst hula hooping at the Queen's Diamond Jubilee concert in 2012?
Do you remember that at all?
No, not really. A few names, Tina Turner or Whitney Houston come to mind, but not really too much of a clue. I'll go with Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston.
It's not, unfortunately. It's Grace Jones.
Grace Jones was the answer. She sang her 1980s hit Slave to the Rhythm.
Ooh.
And hula hooped the whole way through.
Didn't
So
she?
you want to emulate her. Can you hula hoop?
No, I actually can't, but she's just so beautiful. Like, when I get, like, brave enough, this is coming off, and I'm going bald, mate. And that's the dream.
You take up hula hoop and say, Slave
Well, with
to the
clippers,
rhythm.
with clippers, like, yeah.
That sort of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. It's good, keeps you loose, you know. It's great. OK, good. All right, so nothing for you there, Anthony, I'm afraid. At the end of that round, then, let's see how your prize funds have changed. Anthony on £200, Jess and Chris tied on £800. So one of you will shortly have to leave the game, but there is one last chance for you to take the lead. Anthony, you can still catch up, still time. All of you are now going to be asked the same question. 2 members of the think tank will then tell you the answer that they gave before the show and why they think they're right. Only one of them is going to be correct. If you side with the right person, you'll add an all-important £200 to your prize fund. Only 5 questions, though, remain before we do have to say goodbye to one of you, so choose your answers carefully, all right? First, then, we'll hear answers from Ken and Anisha. And here's the question. Who was voted the greatest Briton of all time in a 2002 BBC poll? Ken.
Well, I've got to go back a few years, and I can remember one chilly day standing on my local train station, seeing a train go through with a coffin on it, and people were absolutely thronging the tracks. And that coffin held Winston Churchill. My answer is Winston Churchill.
OK, that was back in 1965, wasn't it?
Yes.
Anisha.
OK, so I went for David Beckham. Reason being is Britain likes their football, and he's a pretty good football player, so why not vote for him?
OK. David Beckham, Winston Churchill. They both believe they have the right answer, but only one is correct. Those are your choices, contestants. Please lock in your answers. Let's see who you've sided with. All three of you have gone with Winston Churchill. Let's see if you're right. Winston Churchill it is indeed. Isambard Kingdom Brunel came second. David Beckham was on the list.
Okay.
He came 33rd.
Oh, well, he's on the list at least.
You'll make it one day.
Maybe. All right, well done, Ken. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, £200 gets added to all your prize funds. And for our next question, we'll hear answers from Cleve and Armanel. Here it is. Of the 193 countries of the United Nations, the names of 26 begin with which letter? Cleve.
I remember when I saw this question, I started to count. And by the time I got through the A's, I thought I'm going to be here all year. So I had to make a guess at this. And after A comes B. So that was my answer. B.
B. OK, Armanel?
I got a bit further through the alphabet and I went for S. And the reason is because a few years ago, I played an internet game where you had to put the 193 countries of the United Nations in alphabetical order within 20 minutes. And I've got this vision of a long column of S's. Now, I also thought to myself, there are approximately 200 nations. 26 is approximately 25, which makes it approximately an eighth. 26 letters of the alphabet. It's got to be a lot. There are all the ones that start with South, and then there are the Serbia, Slovenia, etc., etc. So I think the answer is S.
OK. So your options are S or B. Please lock in your answers. And what have you come up with? You've all come up with S. Let's see if you and Armanel are right. You are indeed. Yes, it is.
I can't believe it.
I didn't.
It was one of the most complicated explanations I think I've ever had. You sort of lost me somewhere between Sudan and Swaziland. And come on, let's see how many of the 26 you can name.
It was a few years ago that I was
Yes.
doing it.
Yes, and we've only got 45 minutes for the programme. We've got 12. Armanel, excellent effort. Well done. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
So, £200 is added to all your totals, and we get our next think tankers, who are Lucy and Peter. And here's the question. Which character appeared in the most episodes of Only Fools and Horses after Del Boy and Rodney? Lucy?
Only Fools and Horses is a great British institution. I've seen loads of episodes, and one of my favourite characters, I always have a chuckle when he comes up, is Trigger. I think he was in it progressively more because he was enjoyed by so many, so I've gone for Trigger.
OK, Peter?
I was thinking more to home unit, and the other person I used to live with was Uncle Albert, and he always used to sort of, like, pretend to be asleep, but he wasn't really asleep.
So Uncle Albert or Trigger? Those are your choices, contestants. Please lock in your answers. Well, you've all gone with Uncle Albert. Let's see if you and Peter are correct. It's Trigger, in fact. Trigger was the character played by Roger Lloyd Pack, never called Rodney by his proper name. You always called him Dave.
That's right.
Well done. Thanks very much. So no money for any of you there. And for our next question, we hear answers from Jackie and Cleve. Here it is. What does the H stand for in the chemical phrase pH number? Scientific question for you, Jackie.
Well, you don't really have to be a scientist for this because I'm not a scientist and I didn't do any chemistry subjects at school. But I do remember all the face creams and everything when they were out, and they used to talk about pH values. And I think that the H stands for high.
The H stands for high?
Yeah.
All right. Cleve?
Well, after skipping all those chemistry classes to play my piano and go out singing, I used to get lots of air. And the only thing I could think of possibly with a pH would be hydrogen.
Hydrogen. OK. Hydrogen or high? Those are your choices, contestants. Please lock in your answers. What have you come up with? Jess and Chris say hydrogen. Anthony says high. Let's see who's right. It is hydrogen. Potential hydrogen is what it's about, and the pH test measures the acidity or alkalinity of a substance. So you may not have got to many chemistry lessons, but you got the right answer, Cleve. So well done.
Don't got my homework every time.
Off you go. Thanks very much. And £200 then goes to Jess and Chris. For our final question then in this round, we're going to hear answers from Tristan and Ken. And here's the question. Which insect was named as the British public's favourite in a 2015 survey by the Royal Society of Biology? Tristan?
So I went for ladybird, purely because every time you see a ladybird, it's always a beautiful sight. And there's a few different species of ladybirds, I believe. So the Royal Society of Biology probably takes an interest in that also. So that was the reason I went with ladybird.
OK. Ken?
Well, when I say the name, I want everybody to give a resounding ah, because my answer is bumblebee. Well done.
Bumblebee. OK. Bumblebee or ladybird, those are your choices. Please lock in your answers. Jess, you've gone with ladybird, and you have 2, Anthony. On his own in the middle, the bumblebee is Chris, who's right. The bumblebee it is. In fact, the ladybird came second.
Oh.
But the bumblebee is a very fine flying insect. Yeah,
Lovely.
absolutely beautiful. So well done, Ken. Thanks very much. £200 to you then, Chris, and that's the end of that round. So let's take a look at your totals. Chris, you have the lead, in fact, with £1,600, followed by Jess with £1,400, and trailing behind with just £600 is Anthony. So I'm afraid, Anthony, we have to say goodbye to you. Thanks very much for playing.
Thanks very much.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it's been great fun. Thanks
Good.
to the think tankers as well.
Well, it's been great to have you along. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well done, Chris and Jess. You two, then, will now compete to take home the money you've earned so far in our final. So, Jess, if you win, what would you like to do with the money?
Well, being a poor student, I haven't been on holiday for about 4 years, so it'll go towards a lovely holiday.
Where would you go?
America. I lived there for a year, so I'd love to go back again.
OK. Chris, any thoughts?
Yeah, I'd like to spend it on a family holiday next year. It's my youngest son's 30th birthday, so hopefully we could all go somewhere together.
Have a party as well, maybe?
Probably, yes.
Hire a band?
No.
Cleve, sorry, I'm trying to get you the business.
Oh, and you live in Leeds, don't you?
I do, yeah.
And I live in
He's
Leeds
just
too.
up the road.
I can't-
He's dead cheap, aren't you?
Band and everything. Marry your son, the whole works. not personally marry him, as
Get a
in,
whole
you know.
bundle with him. OK. All right. Well, good luck to you both. And our final is a general knowledge battle. I'm going to ask you 5 questions each. Whoever gives the most correct answers then takes home the money they've built up so far. The think tank, fortunately, still on hand to help you out. You can pick someone to consult with before you give your answer. Each member, though, can only be picked once. And the difference in the final compared to the rest of the show is that they haven't seen any of these questions before either, so just as much in the dark as you, OK? Chris, you built up the most money in the main game. The final starts with you. And here's your first question. Which of the wives of Henry VIII was the mother of Mary I of England? Chris, what do you think? Have you got an idea, roughly?
I've got an idea, roughly, yeah.
OK. Who can help you back that up?
I think Aminel.
Armanel.
Yes, I can help you. What is it that you think, first of all?
I think it was Anne Boleyn.
Ah, no, she was the second wife, and she was the mother of Elizabeth.
All right.
So I'm glad you've come to me, because I am able to be helpful. It was his first wife, and it was Catherine of Aragon.
So, Armanel, disagreeing with you there. It's your choice, your answer that we go with.
No, I'm going to go with Aminel, Catherine of Aragon.
Which of the wives, then, of Henry VIII was the mother of Mary I of England? You're saying Catherine of Aragon. Chris, let's see if you're right. Catherine of Aragon it is.
Thank you. Well done. Well done.
And as Armanel said, she was the first wife of Henry VIII. Really good use of think tank knowledge there, so well done, Chris. That's 1 to you. Jess, your first question. David Cameron became the MP for which constituency in 2001?
Bad subject for me. Not a clue about politics whatsoever.
All right, let's see who can help you out here then.
I'd like to go with Ken, please.
Oops.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I think it's something like in Kent, but I honestly not sure. I thought it was something like Dover or something like that in Kent. I can see him going to his constituency, and I thought it was, but I've got now it may be a suburb of London, so really I can't help. Really, I'm very sorry about that. Just got the wrong question.
Okay.
You're going to have to come up with a constituency somewhere.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the answer Ken gave. It's Dover.
Dover. OK. David Cameron became the MP for which constituency in 2001? Jess, you're saying Dover. Let's see if you're right. In fact, it's Witney.
Oh, sorry.
Which is in Oxfordshire.
Okay.
Yeah, OK. So it's 1-0 to Chris, and here's your second question, Chris. In the UK, St George's Day is celebrated in which month?
Same month as my birthday.
Oh, well, you have a pretty good idea then.
Yes.
Who can back you up on this?
I'll go with Jackie.
Jackie?
I was thinking April.
I think you're right.
Yeah, and I think we should celebrate it more.
I certainly agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
April.
In the UK, St George's Day is celebrated in which month? Chris, you're saying April. Is he right? April it is. Well done. You know which date it is, actually?
23rd.
April the 23rd. Well done. Good knowledge. OK. Jess, it's 2-0 at the moment to Chris. Still got time to catch up. Here's your second question. In the solar system, what is the 6th planet from the sun? Is that more your line?
Yes, this is more my thing. I know it's physics, but I know what it is. I'm going to go with Lucy.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
OK, working back, it's the one after Jupiter, isn't it?
I have a wee rhyme. So
OK.
Many very energetic aliens jump straight under 9 planets. So
Saturn.
that'd be Saturn then, yeah. Saturn,
Nice.
please.
Saturn.
Yeah.
In the solar system, what is the 6th planet from the sun? Jess, you're saying Saturn. Are you right? You are indeed. Saturn is the answer.
Yes, very good.
Saturn, the second largest planet in our solar system. All right, well done for working so well together. OK, 2-1. Chris, your third question. In Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, which cousin of Juliet is killed by Romeo in a fit of anger? How good is your Shakespeare?
Not good at all.
Ah, OK. Cleve, Tristan, Anisha or Peter to help you?
Anisha.
Anisha.
Okay, so I'm thinking back to the films.
Yeah.
And Juliet's cousin killed Mercutio, which is Romeo's best friend, because he's like, Mercutio, and he's really upset. And then Romeo's like really angry, and he's driving, and he goes to the fountain, and that guy's there. Okay, so he was a Capulet because of Juliet, but have you got any ideas?
No.
Come on, Chris, give me something. What was his name?
Is it something beginning with A? Amulet or...
No, it's
No.
not. It's not. It's not that.
Lurkio?
Benvolio? Benvolio?
Benvolio?
I want to say Benvolio.
We'll have to go with him.
Benvolio. OK. In Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, which cousin of Juliet is killed by Romeo in a fit of anger? Chris, you're saying Benvolio. Let's see if you're on the right lines.
Tybalt!
Tybalt.
Oh my... No!
Tybalt
What
was.
said you? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Never heard of it.
In retaliation for Tybalt's killing of Romeo's friend Mercutio. I'm intrigued, though, by your Romeo and Juliet memories. Driving? What's going on?
Leonardo DiCaprio version.
Yes.
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 Very
Okay.
good film.
OK. That was the Baz Luhrmann film. OK. All right. Well, good effort. Tried hard. Afraid it didn't quite work for you. OK.
Yeah.
Still 2-1 to you, Chris, though. And Jess, here's your third question. You can equalise with this one. In 2010, at the age of 23, who became the youngest ever Formula One champion? Is this your thing, motor racing?
Not really, but I think I do know who it is.
All right.
Because my dad watches a lot of Formula One. I'm going to go with Tristan because he's sporty. So,
Lewis Hamilton.
yeah, that's who I was thinking.
Yeah.
And
that's
that's about the right time as well. So Lewis Hamilton, please.
In 2010, at the age of 23, who became the youngest ever Formula One champion? Jess, you're saying it's Lewis Hamilton. Is she right?
Oh.
It's Sebastian Vettel,
Sebastian
in
Vettel.
fact. And he won it the following 3 years as well. So I'm afraid you're wrong there. And it means, Chris, you are still in the lead, 2-1, for your fourth question. Jacqueline Dupre was best known for her skill on which musical instrument? Cleve or Peter to help you?
Well, it's got to be Cleve.
Got to be Cleve.
Know the name?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Would she not be the violin?
Just want to be clear in my mind. Just need to get an image clear in my mind. Jacqueline Dupre. If it's a stringed instrument, which I'm assuming it is, I'm going to say the violin, probably very much with you.
Yeah.
To say I was certain wouldn't be fair. it would be a more calculated guess. And I mean, it's a big family of string instruments. So.
Yeah, but they tend to lead, don't
Yeah,
they, the
they tend-
violin?
yeah, and I'm gonna
They
say,
get a
yeah.
name for themselves. Violin.
Jacqueline Dupre was best known for her skill on which musical instrument? Chris, you're saying it's violin. Let's see if you're right. It's the cello. It's a stringed instrument, indeed.
Yeah, well done.
But not the violin.
Sorry, man.
So no score for you there. It means, Jess, with your fourth answer, you can equalise here. OK? Which man died on the 5th of May, 1821, on the island of St Helena?
Ain't got a clue. OK.
Peter
obviously
is here to help you.
It's a long time ago.
He's going to be quite old. Well, he's not really because he's dead.
Has to be quite famous.
Quite a long time ago.
Napoleon was killed in battle, wasn't he? That's like 200 years ago-ish.
Yeah, that could probably.
That's the only famous person I really know in that era, really.
Yeah, going to go with Napoleon.
Napoleon?
Yeah.
OK. Which man died on the 5th of May, 1821, on the island of St Helena? Jess, to equalise here, you're going with Napoleon. Let's see if you're right. And you're right, Napoleon Bonaparte.
Oh, my God.
So he wasn't killed in battle. In fact, he was defeated at the Battle of Waterloo and exiled to St Helena, and he died 6 years after the battle. So,
Good job.
yeah, well done. Somehow you collaborated well
I'll eat
together
all the
there.
pizza now.
Yeah. So, 2-2. This is your fifth question now. No think tankers left to help you. So, from here on in, you're on your own. OK? Chris, here's your question. Dr. Legg, played by Leonard Fenton, was a character in which TV soap opera? Soap's your thing at all?
Not really, but I've got a reasonable idea.
All right, then.
EastEnders.
EastEnders. Dr. Legg, played by Leonard Fenton, was a character in which TV soap opera? Just to go 3-2 up, you're saying EastEnders. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
EastEnders it is. Well done. All right. Jess, this is your fifth question. You do need to get this right to stay in the game, OK? Which American football team won the 2016 Super Bowl? You're bouncing up and down with this one.
Yes, I actually knew that because I watched it. The Denver Broncos.
Which American football team won the 2016 Super Bowl? Jess, if you get this right, you will draw level. You're saying the Denver Broncos to stay in the game. Let's see if you're right. Denver Broncos it is. Well done. Remember the score?
20-something to 10, I think.
24-10, and who did they beat?
Carolina Panthers.
Carolina Panthers, absolutely. Well done. OK, after 5 questions each, you're tied at 3-all, so we're going to go to sudden death. All of our think tank have been used up, so you are on your own, as we mentioned, until we find a winner. Chris, here's your next question. How many months of the year have 31 days?
Can I count on my fingers?
If you want to.
7.
7.
I got it wrong.
How many months of the year have 31 days? Chris, you're saying 7. Let's see if you're right. Seven it is. Well, fortunately, you had enough fingers. And they are?
January, March, May, July, August, October and December.
Absolutely right. Well done, Chris. OK, Jess, again, you're under a little bit of pressure here because you have to get this one right to stay level with Chris and stay in the game, OK? Here's the question. Dunkirk is an historic port in which country?
Oh, no. Dunkirk. It sounds Scottish, doesn't it? So I'm going to go with Scottish. Scotland.
Scotland? Dunkirk is an historic port in which country? Jesse, if you got this right, you'll have drawn level. If not, Chris will be the winner. You're saying Scotland. Let's see if you're right. It's France.
Oh, OK.
So congratulations, Chris. That means you are today's winner. Well done. It is in France, site of the famous Allied retreat in 1940. So I'm sorry, Jess, you're not taking anything home apart from the wonderful memory, the wonderful memories of working with this lot, and a little special wave from Tristan. Do you think? Would you like that? Go on, Tristan, give her away. OK. Thanks very much for playing.
You.
Chris, as our winner, you'll definitely be taking home your prize of £1,600. Shortly, you'll have the chance to add an extra £1,000 to your winnings. First, though, shall we take a moment to congratulate the think tanker who gave the most correct answers during the show? And it was... the amazing Arwenel. To be honest, worth the award all on your own, simply for that answer about all those countries beginning with S.
Yeah. Very impressed.
All right, well done. Chris, you have one last chance now, then, to seriously boost your prize as you face our question impossible. Chris, this is the toughest question of the show because no one in the think tank could get it right earlier. If you can achieve what none of them could and give us a correct answer, that extra £1,000 will be yours, OK? Shall we take a look at your question impossible? At the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup, who captained the England team? While you think about that, we're going to give you a little bit of assistance because we're going to look at the wrong answers that the think tank gave, and this will help you rule a few things out. Although it may not be much of a help when I tell you what some of the names were. Lucy Bronze, Beyoncé, Sarah Jane Parker, Heidi Kunis, Jose Mourinho's wife, Claire Lewis, Natalie Collier, and Katie Smith. Some of those I think you could have knocked out anyway, but what do you think the answer could be? Do you have it?
It might be the sister of one of the Manchester United players. I just got this feeling, but I can't really remember a name, but it might be somebody called Neville, but I can't think of the first name. Jessica Neville.
Jessica Neville?
Yeah.
OK, you're going to go with Jessica Neville?
Yeah.
At the moment, you have £1,600, so this is for an extra £1,000. At the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup, who captained the England team? You're saying Jessica Neville. If you're right, you'll be taking home £2,600. Fingers crossed for you, Chris. Let's see if you're right. Steph Houghton was the answer we were looking for. Could you have been thinking of Tracy Neville, who's the England team netball coach? I don't know. Oh, well.
That is who I was
That's
thinking.
what it was.
Yeah.
So I'm afraid you didn't conquer the question impossible. It was a tough one, that one, really. You're still leaving with £1,600, though.
Yes.
Still enough to take the family on holiday?
Yeah.
If not to afford Cleve and his band
Well,
for the
I think
party?
that if the extra £1,000, perhaps I could have done.
Yeah, too bad.
We'll negotiate afterwards. We're Yorkshiremen, we can always negotiate.
OK, well, thanks very much for playing
Thank you
the
very
game
much.
anyway.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching. Do join us next time when 3 more contestants will see whether they can bank on the think tank. Until then, it's goodbye from the tankers.
Bye.
And it's goodbye from me. Bye-bye.